Okay, we're live. It's time to unmute my mic. Today is day 8 of NaNoWriMo, and it is episode 8 of Prisma Arena, the animated series, or what we might also say is season 2, episode 1, because we finished off the kind of story arc yesterday with Eleanor's narrative. And I thought it'd be kind of good to pause it there and maybe switch to one of the other characters that might be that kind of appears in Prisma Arena, and see if we can kind of tell their story and flesh out the world from a different direction. The more I go into this, the more excited and nervous I get, because the world is bigger and there's more to think about as we're playing. But I'm gonna my intention is to just kind of, I think, continue to surprise myself a little bit along the way. So I'll do that a bit differently. I'm going to, like normally when you play Untold, you'd open up the scene, and if you haven't already created a character, you would then create the character at that point. I think for our purposes, I'll create the character beforehand, and I'll explain a little bit about them and kind of jump in. So I haven't thought too much about the character, but I do know that I want to base it on, I'm going to just shift here to my notes. So I kind of want to base it on this character here. So again, it's one of the standees from the game. I don't know if it's the lighting today. There's not much natural light, so I'm relying on my kind of studio lights. But I'm just going to see if we can actually, there we go. So I think that's going to be our character. And so I was actually just modifying the stickers beforehand. You can see this is their kind of locker from Prisma Arena, the game. So yeah, so I think this is going to be my character. And my thought is that Eleanor bumped into someone at the end of episode, I think it was episode 1, when they went to Hendon Forest, and a young boy, kind of teen, asked her to take him with them, and she refused. So I think this is his story. We're going to pick up on his story. I'm not sure when in that timeline it's going to happen, but that's my thought. I kind of like to focus on that character and flesh them out a little bit. So I'm going to do them there. I'm going to get my pen. So I'm going to kind of create their name. Here. So they are, in terms of their name, I'm going to call them, so we can see them up here. So I can actually put them up there so you can see their kind of profile. So again, focus is not the best. I am going to call them Gisan, maybe, or Jisan. And they are the job or role at the moment. They are I think they're the son. They're kind of basically what do they do? Oh well, if they ever get stuck, roll the story cubes. So what do they do in? Actually, the village name is Greenlight. Oh yeah, and I've actually mixed up a couple of new story cubes. So I'm going to say, yeah, I don't think he has a great job. I think he's going to be a cleaner. So I'm going to use this kind of like bacteria. In the village. So, oh, do you know what he is? Maybe, yeah. He just he clears out the dung for the bugglers. So he's kind of like a bugler cleaner. And what compels him to go on adventures? So I thought I'm going to say that because he, if we look at the character again, let me see notes. If we look at the character, he is missing a limb. So I'm going to say that he wants to prove his worth to become a ranger of Hendon. So I think he wants to prove he is worthy. It's not that he's not able to do it. It's just that the others kind of make assumptions about his ability. He's ranger of Hendon. Okay, and the specials that he has. What specials will I give him? Again, I'll maybe roll some dice and see. Okay, so I'm going to look at the dice tray. I think he. I'm going to look at this one. Again, hard to see. Focus. There you go. So, no. Take this down a little bit. So he's kind of light-fingered. So it's more like he is able to kind of blend in and go unnoticed. So I'm going to say he's able. So he's able to blend in. And stealthy, I'm going to kind of combine the two things together. Then the other thing, so he might have an item or something like that. So I think he is able. Okay, so I've hadn't thought of this before, so I'm going to run with it. So I'm going to say he can actually maybe really something cool for him to develop later. So I want to say he has like the potential. He has the ability to kind of almost like project a Prisma clone of himself. If I use this symbol here again, like that. But I am going to give him some kind of, well, he is going to have, I'm going to give him like a kind of a throwing axe that he uses. So again, like in this world, it's maybe infused with Prisma in some way. So he's able to kind of channel Prisma through that, maybe for explosive effect. So he can kind of charge it up and then throw it. You can't see my hand gestures in this small space, but he has like a throwing axe that he charges up and then he flings it, and when that hits, it kind of can explode. So we've got to go with that as his starting thing. And I don't think I'm going to have any other characters in this just yet. Okay. So that's everything I need for him. Put this out of the way. Again, would help if I had my headphones on. So I think it's time to jump in and start playing the game. So just fix some things here before I get going. Okay. So the first thing is actually make a note of the sound. Of green light. Oh, John, sorry, we actually gave him a name. His name is Katal. Ooh. Let me correct that. No, you're only going to keep it as Jasan. I'm going to update that other one. I didn't think I'd given him a name in the previous episode. Okay, so we're going to get started. Welcome to everyone who's joined us in the last few minutes. Just about to get started with episode 1 of season 2 of Prisma Arena, the animated series. And yeah, we're going to play. I'm going to reveal the first tile and resolve it. And like every episode, we'll continue to work through each tile, revealing it and resolving the information that it gives us on the cube, with the goal of bringing the story to a full conclusion before essentially time runs out. So I'm going to flip over the first tile, and we see at some location a threat is accusing, threatening, blackmailing, spreading rumors about someone or something. Okay. I'm gonna roll the story cubes. And this week for this episode, I mixed in a couple of story cubes from one from Powers, one from, I've forgotten its name, Voyages, one from Strange, and one from the, what do I call it? The sports set. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna use this icon here, which again, It'd be really great if we get it to focus. So it's like an airplane. So kind of using this as the kind of like the transport depot. So I'm going to say at the kind of like the way station in green light, where you will find kind of like a mix of buglars coming and going. You'll also find some of the kind of the skiffs that we saw in previous episodes. So it's kind of like a transport hub. Obviously, Greenlight isn't a huge town. Well, yeah, it's a medium-sized town in the forest, and so there's kind of you'll have vehicles stopping off here to be repaired and helped, and San is there, and he's actually kind of cleaning up behind the buglars, gathering the dirt when he sees a okay, like I'm gonna say like a reporter or journalist. So like a kind of a traveling writer, I think. See, like, yeah, this traveling writer, stroke kind of journal or like reporter, and they are they're spreading rumors. So they're telling everyone who will listen that. So let's see. So who are they actually talking about? Okay, well that kind of jumps straight out at me. So I see this other icon here, which is also a reporter. So they accuse the other kind of they're accusing I think a resident reporter in the town of spreading lies about how despair spreads. So I'm gonna use that kind of symbol there. It's really weird. It's like it focuses when I'm not looking at it, and then when I move away, it does. Okay, so they're spreading rumors about. They're accusing them of spreading kind of rumors and lies about how despair, just how far actually it's spreading and its reach, and they're saying, yeah. Let's stop with that because I don't know whether to say whether they're that character is probably for or despair. So maybe they're saying that they're kind of over exaggerating it. So let's call it fake news. So they're exaggerating the extent of despair's reach. So my dramatic pause as I drink some coffee. Okay. So I wondered, do I know the local? So shit, this switch down. So I'm gonna check. Do I know the local journalist that's being accused? So I'll give this a shuffle before we begin. Yes, but I don't get on well with him. He's made fun of me in the past and kind of looks down at me. Yeah, so I do know him, but it's not the best of relationships, I don't think, between the two of us. And I'm going to say his name is Spencer. Let's see, journalist. Green light. Or kind of reporter. Okay. So I guess I want to I'm actually going to kind of watch and see how this develops. So I'm going to ask, like, how does Spencer take to these kind of accusations, or how are they responding? He I think he's arguing, saying well, I think he's let's see, maybe he's saying, like, kind of calm down, if we can just go somewhere and if we can just go somewhere and eat, and discuss this, we can reach some kind of agreement. But I think his view is that, he sees Despair's power as growing, and soon he'll kind of take it. It will take over the world, and that's his kind of, let's say, actually her biggest fear. So I step in and say, I think I'm going to defend them, and I'm going to say this is kind of like post the previous episodes. So I'd say, like, step forward to the journalist, say, have you not heard about the raid that took place on Tanal, on the shrine? And did you not hear about the how the Council of Hope has been captured? How can you not, like, say that, deny that hope or despair isn't growing in this land? So they're just having none of it. They just kind of brush me aside as it, like, who are you? Like, look at you covered in muck and dirt. What do you know about the world? And that gets my blood boiling. So I go and look for a member of the watch and tell them that this person is creating a disturbance. No, I'm going to follow them, actually. Right. So I think as they walk off, because I'm going to use my stealth, I'm going to follow them behind them as they go and eat. And I'm going to see if I can, again, get closer to kind of be able to overhear the conversation without being noticed. Okay, so I do. So what is the other journalist? What's their name? I'm just going to roll some stereotypes to see if I can come up with a name. I'm going to use that. What's it? Jeez. So I'm going to call them Eon. So journalist, a reporter, kind of traveling journalist, and I'm going to say they're pro despair. Okay, so what do I hear? What do I manage to overhear or learn about their perspective? So, okay, I think they're going to say that they blame. So Ion is actually blaming the Terrapans. So that tribe, we met Gorkin is one of them, who we hear from Gorkin that their land has actually been overrun by despair. And they're saying that Ion is saying, well, they're just spreading the rumors, and they're they just want to use it as an excuse to basically to kind of that kind of looks like a bandito or fish or something. That they want to just they want to use it as an excuse to come here and steal what's rightfully ours. So they're kind of accusing the Terrapan. I don't think I've had much experience with Terrapans. So what else can I do? Again, I'm just gonna say, well, what is how is Spencer responding to this? These claims about the Terrapan. Okay, so I think I think they say that they have visited their land, which I'm going to call Majesta. So location. So they're going to go to, that they visited them there and they have seen firsthand how the reach of despair is growing. Come on, you can do it. So it's kind of going from strength to strength. And it's my duty to basically kind of blow the whistle on this and make people wake up. So I think, so as they're talking, I think it's going to get violent, or not kind of more aggressive, and Ion starts to threaten Spencer and says, "Well, if you don't stop, there's going to be consequences to this." And yeah, the tension is rising, and it's going to get kind of really rough. And so, actually, what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of try and interrupt the conversation and say, "Oh, Spencer, there's a message. You need to come with me straight away. Come on, this way," and see if that works. Okay. I don't think I'm too convincing. But they don't believe me, but like they look at me going, I'm obviously lying. But I think Spencer says, taking a cue from this young man, I will take my leave and go. And so Spencer gets up to walk away. And as he leaves, I'm going to see how does Ion react. Eon. Yeah. So okay. So he says, well, if you like kind of the Terrapan and Majestus so much, maybe we can make it happen so that you'll actually get to visit there. Let's see, get that icon there permanently. So as I walk away with Spencer, he's got an evil ally. So what do I discover? He's walking away, and it turns out he's got an evil ally of some kind, which is indicated by this symbol up here. So I kind of want to tie in elements. So I'm kind of going to say he so as he leaves, he joins with, again, I got to check my names. So I'm going to use the axe to represent the kind of ranger, who we know is actually a supporter of apathy. And his name is Aries. So he kind of Spencer kind of shoos me on my way, going like, just get back to work and leave me to my business. But as he walks away, I see Darius is kind of like, and everyone knows Darius. He's a hero of Greenlight. He's kind of leaning up against a wall, and he kind of pushes himself off and starts walking alongside Ion. And he kind of puts his arm around his shoulder and kind of like guides him in a different direction, like down a side alley. And I sneak after them to try and overhear the conversation. So I'm going to say, what do I hear them talking about? So again, yeah, so top-down view. So I'm using the axe symbol to represent that. So I'm going to go back to that screen. So he's a journalist arguing about despair. So he tells them to keep spreading. There's something else going on. So he's this is an evil ally. So he's feeding him information about the raids, I think, or kind of what's happening. And he says that tonight, there will be an attack on Greenlight. But we will use our we attack on Greenlight. But yeah, I'll just say, but don't worry, we're going to fend this off. And he basically tells them to start kind of preparing, almost like the news articles about the yet another attack happening. And maybe as well, actually, he says, so I don't always do this, but I'm going to spend like an idea token. So I think Darius is actually, or Arius is, he's acting as his kind of like source, and he's feeding him probably kind of misinformation as well about the spread of despair. But again, apathy or Arius is held in such high regard that Spencer would never kind of question this. So he tells them tales of different attacks, and because I really want to introduce like a race of kind of crab-like crustacean creatures. So I think he's going to say as well that so as well as this kind of raid tonight, there is, so it's not a raid tonight actually. I think it's going to be, he's saying that in the previous night there was a raid elsewhere. So as a ranger, he's reporting back and saying, "Oh, I heard in the town of let me see, Peary, I think. No, that's not. Hang on. Let me give it a better name than that. So I'm actually gonna call it Can Candalon Candalonia. Um, there was an attack, a raid there, and also that the there's a planned attack on raid on the let me see, the homeland of, looking at these, the what do I call them? Durclaws. Series of predations. Okay, so he's splitting these. I'm hearing him telling him these stories. So I think and he's telling them to basically to print these stories, and the Spencer saying, like, are you sure they're true? And Arius is saying, oh, trust me, my friend. I am a ranger of Hendon. It's my duty to uphold the truth and honor and hope. So I need a call to action to react to this. And they are, I think when they're talking, I got to realize that these aren't actually true, these stories. So I'm going to ask, like, what gives it away that these aren't true? Okay, I think the red flag for me is when they say that basically, Beacon is actually, let's say, like, the Ranger starts kind of criticizing or belittling kind of Beacon and the Prisma Arena, and because that for me is, I want to go there. I want to become a guardian. That's all I've aspired to, and he, like, whether he's lying or not, he must be lying if he's calling into question the kind of the honor of the arena and Beacon, and he's kind of referring to the capture of the council. So yeah, they're kind of they're scheming. They're actually intentionally spreading these rumors, so they're over exaggerating the impact of despair on the land. So funnily enough, Ian is kind of right, but not really clear why they're doing that. He doesn't understand the full reasoning. So I wonder if So I'm going to say they're kind of both working with. Are they both working with Happy? No, I'm going to keep it to the Ranger for the moment. Okay, so there's a red flag raised when I hear them talking and criticizing this. So in order to deal with this, I kind of on hearing this, I gotta go tell someone. Okay, so I think I want to run to the. I'm gonna run to my So my father is actually the leader of the Rangers. So I'm gonna go and find him, and his name is Laurel. The kind of captain of Rangers of Hendon. So I want to tell him that Arius is up to no good, and I think I make some noise, and Arius is immediately in. So I'm going to go to the kind of run to kind of the kind of building where the hall where the Rangers stay. I'm gonna. So maybe he's out in the forest actually. So I'm gonna run and find my father out in the forest, where they kind of have a kind of a watchtower, and but Arius is in kind of spots me and starts to chase after me. So I need to lose him. So I'm not going to know it much better than him. But I do have the ability to blend in. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and lose myself in one of the crowds in the market, I think. Okay, so I managed to kind of blend in, but Arius is still there. He's kind of looking around for me, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get out of here without him noticing. So is there anyone around? Is there anything around I can use as a distraction? So now take the token. So yeah, that's going to be better. Okay, so I actually spot Ian, the other journalist, is in the market. So I am going to I'm going to try and wave and catch his attention. So I'm going to be quite kind of visible, and say to him, "Oh, I must take you to meet my my father. He would love to talk to you as a leader of the Rangers." So let's see, please, fingers crossed. Okay, so he's like, "Excellent. Take me with you." So I'm going to see how does Arius react to that. He I think he follows along, just keeping a close eye on us to kind of so that he's waiting for his opportunity to jump. Um, so okay, so we're kind of on we're leaving the town. Um, and after the place all along. So whilst he's spreading rumors, I think he wants to. I'm trying to think how I fit this in. I think he wants to. Sorry, the top down view. So this symbol here is he's actually after or seeking a particular place or location. And I think I realize that he wants to take over the Rangers. Yeah. So he wants to take over the seat of the Rangers, and I wondered, like, how does this become apparent to me? So as a place, I think he wants to take over. As a place, I'm going to say the seat of power of the Rangers. Well, I think it's Ion who actually tells me. So as we're walking along, he says to me that he's heard rumors about Arius and he's not one to be trusted. And he was hearing things from Beacon following the raid there that he seeks kind of power for himself, and it's likely that he is seeking the essentially try and topple and take over the Rangers. He's working to take over the Rangers of Hendon Forest. That's my dad's at risk. So so how do we tie this all up? I think I'm gonna have to modify an icon, I think. So we had so we're on our way to we're kind of end up being in the market whilst we're on our way. So I'm going to so let's see. Maybe we get there and my father is missing. So we rush back to into the town, to the transport hub, to see where no, actually, I'm gonna search the forest. So when we get to the to where my father is, we discover that he is missing, and there are this is very interesting. I think I'm gonna have so in this forest, I think the first thing is when we get there, these I guess they're kind of like living fungi, and this is probably an obvious title. I'm going to call them shroomas. So mushroom creatures. They start. They kind of launch out of nowhere, and whilst I'm trying to get my head around what's happening, these kind of burst out of the forest and start charging towards me. So I am going to, I think, instinctively throw my axe. So again, embed some prism into it and fire it at them to try and distract them, scare them off. Okay, so I don't scare them off, but they basically slow. They're kind of a little bit more nervous and reluctant to approach, but they're still around. So what else do I do? Again, I think I don't know if he's as good with his kind of emotions as Eleanor was, but I think I don't think now's the right time for that. So he throws that as an explosion. They kind of pause for a second, and they're scared. So I'm going to use that as an opportunity to try and start kind of running back towards the town. Okay, so I managed to do that, and I think Ion, who's with me, is kind of mildly impressed I meet another ranger. So as I'm running through the forest, I bump into Fan. So a ranger of Hendon Forest. And I'm going to say he's my uncle, actually. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is that like, what's the rush? And I explained to him what's happened, what Arius is, he's scheming something. He's and Ion explains, we suspect he's planning to take over the Rangers. We went to tell your father. Your father's missing, and he says, don't worry, we'll sort this out. And I think he has so I think they've kind of the what they call them, the shroomas, when they see my uncle and there's maybe Uncle Fen and maybe there's one or two other rangers with him, they kind of like they're less easy pickings, so they pull back. But as we he says, "Come with me," and we mount up onto their steeds, and we start kind of riding fast back towards the village, and at the same or back to Greenlight. And at the same time, we see kind of through the clearing, we see Arius, and I think he's got my father kind of slumped over the back of their steed, and they are in pursuit. They want to stop us. But I think he's gonna keep racing forward, and some of the rangers who are with him are kind of pull off, and they turn to chase us. So we need to try and avoid them. So we head towards a let me see. We head towards a kind of a ravine and attempt to kind of lose them by going through this part of the forest and making a leap across a river. Okay. So we don't make it. So we tried to jump across, and I think instead we don't like fully clear it, but we basically kind of slide down the side, and we're kind of much lower down on the embankment. So we've kind of lost time on Arius, but we've managed to evade the ones who are chasing us. So we are going to let me see. I think I'm going to say if we actually follow this route, it's going to take us back into the village. Sorry, and I should have moved that over to there. So top down view. So yeah, I'm going to continue. So we've stayed in the forest. They've head on that way. We can't evade them, but we still need to get there and stop them. So I think we're just going to kind of race to get to the village as quick as we can. I'm trying to make up for last time. Okay, so we do, but I think Arius is waiting for us. And they are, so we're going back towards we're going to the forest. So we managed to catch up. Yeah, I think we managed to find our way out. And Arius is waiting for us when we come out. And we are going to, I think, Arius only has eyes for Fen, and says, "Fen, you're not going to like stop me. We know that Laurel is kind of old and weak and needs a leader that's strong like me. These are times of, we fight for hope, but this is a time of despair. And we must be willing to work with the side that will best aid us, which I'm going to say is like a fundamental break in the code of the Rangers. They always aim to bring kind of hope and light to the forest and to the land of Solace. And Fen is saying, "What are you saying? There's no way you can be leader if that's your view." So as he keeps talking, he kind of looks at me and kind of whispers, "I know you have what it takes," and he kind of nudges me away. So again, I'm going to try and slip into the forest unnoticed, so that I can kind of come around and plan something. Okay, so I managed to do it, but I'm running out of time. I think I need to act really quickly. So I've embarrassingly little time to deal with this. So I am going to summon all of my energy, my Prisma, and kind of call on Donna, which I've never done before. I've never succeeded in doing before, and I'm going to power up my axe and throw it. I'm going to throw it at Arius. I've never hurt or killed someone before. And I throw it. Okay. Okay. So as I throw it, this really strange thing happens. It's like the axe is like spinning through the air, and then suddenly I see Donna manifest, who is the Mokon of confidence. No, actually, no, maybe it's Farg, and I see Farg chasing alongside the axe, and they grab it out of the air and almost like run with it themselves, and they start like just hammering away at Arius, and all of my anger and frustration is coming out on Arius. All of that pent up like frustration and annoyance at not being included or considered worthy of ever being a ranger. And Farg is just kind of energetically letting rip on Arius, and Fen has to actually summon his calming Mokon to soothe Farg. And I'm kind of terrified at what's happened. I just completely lost control in all of that anger. Now we have basically I haven't killed Darius because it's an animated show, but he has been kind of deeply wounded, and I'm shocked. And my I think my uncle is looking at me in a new light, and is my father? I think my father comes to at that point, so he's missed what's happened. And I think so. We've kind of revealed Arius to be a traitor. I'm not sure to what extent, like how many layers we've peeled back of his behavior, but he's been kind of revealed in terms of some of his intentions. We have, I think Fen turns to me and says, "We need to talk. We need to talk some more once this all calms down." And but he says, "Kind of go now." And as I walk off into the forest, back towards Greenlight, on my home, I see them kind of lifting up Arius and putting again kind of manacles on him as they walk him off, and I wonder what I've unleashed on myself. And I think I'm going to end it there. So that's the end of the episode, actually. So one of the things I had forgot, kind of in the last game, but I'll do it in this one, is so again, recording the episode title. I'm going to call it it's kind of lies, I think. Actually, lying in wait. So it's season 2, episode 1. I think character highlights. Jisan begins to develop to kind of access their Okon. And he kind of gains trust of the Zemple fan. Okay. So let me see, in terms of threads then that we had going on, I don't think so. We have the rising of the Scarabin clan. We have all that. Let's see, events. We have the attempted kind of coup of the Rangers of Hendon. We have what else we got? In terms of open threads, I don't think there's anything major. We have the accusations of spreading despair, rumors about the increased power of despair. I suppose we still have the well, I think he's going to be pulled in as well, actually. I think Spencer is going to be arrested as part of all this and taken in for questioning. So I think it's still like ultimately the well, I'm going to close that off actually. That the agent has been kind of captured and secured now, so he's no longer a threat. So I don't think there's any major loose threats as a result of this episode, but it'll kind of set us up, I think, for the future ones. So I'm going to call it there. Kind of curious to see how this goes, and I'm kind of glad that Jisan was able to kind of prove himself to himself, really, more than anything, and possibly to his uncle. And I think he's made a good contact actually in the form of Ion or Eon. So I think he'll become a kind of useful contact for later episodes, and maybe become one of his specials that he gains later. But sure, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tune in 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning, and we'll do the next live stream for, I guess, season 2, episode 2 of Prisma Arena, the animated series. Look forward to seeing you all then, and have a great day, or evening or morning, wherever you are. So, sorry, I always forget to switch back to these. So, have a great day, and yeah, we'll see you back here tomorrow for season 2, episode 2 of Prisma Arena, the animated series. Take care, everyone. Bye.